But July 9th, I had a very unfortunate incident. I had to be hospitalized. I actually had a full-blown heart attack. So July 10th, and I have 20 days for the exam to go. So I was in the hospital. I came back. I was on bed rest. Then I was frantic, and I called you. I said, "This is my situation, and you've been taking care of my progress, and you've been seeing. I mean, you've been giving me advice, so you had an idea."
But like I used to get a lot of messages. So last week of July, I got audio message. I didn't, hear that message. It was the next day in the afternoon. I think I heard that audio and I was shocked. I immediately called him because he mentioned what happened to him on 10th of July. He was hospitalized. It was a cardiac arrest, 100% blockage. Something he mentioned, right? So I was like, I couldn't even fully hear that audio. Just that when you mentioned that, I was like, oh my god. I mean, why are you taking that stress to give the exam? So I immediately called him. We had a discussion. I told him one thing, that please take care of your health. It's completely fine. I will help you in the new syllabus. Don't worry for that. I mean, health is more important. Okay, there is nothing important than your health. And I mean, exams will come, exams will go, but health is something which you need to take care of. But one thing he told me is like, no, 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 sir, I am feeling very confident because I studied a lot. Hello everyone, welcome to CISA-This-Much. This is Aditya, and today we have with us Adib, who has recently qualified his CISA. So Adib, first of all, huge congratulations for passing the exam. And before I ask you any questions, so how is it feeling to clear the exam in the first attempt?
No, about the exam part, I feel amazing that I was fortunate enough to clear it in the first attempt. I mean, I feel really good. I never thought I would, but then if there is a reason why I passed it, it's because I blindly followed. Uh, I mean, this is not a marketing thing or a sponsorship thing or anything. Because I blindly followed the steps that Aditya sir told me. Blindly. I mean, it was blind faith. So I feels great. Yes.
Yeah, thank you. And can you please introduce yourself, your background, and what made you choose this certification?
So would you like to know about my education background and?
Yeah, correct.
Okay. So I did my undergrad in management information systems. I was like, I think 25 years ago. So, and then after that, I did my master's in accounting. After which I was picked up by Ernst & Young for their assurance service. And this was all in the US. I worked with Ernst & Young in external audit for about 4 years, and then got my expertise at that time was oil and gas. And at that time, oil and gas was booming in Qatar. So the internal audit team, the risk team in Qatar, got me transferred to Qatar.
Okay.
Worked another 4 years in Ernst & Young Qatar, so total about 8 years of consulting experience. After which I got picked up by one of our clients, which is Qatar University. Currently, I'm the Assistant Director of Internal Audit and Compliance at Qatar University.
Awesome. Great. All right. So my next question to you is, how much time did it take for you, to qualify this exam? Right from the time, you thought about, look, let me go for this certification. Let me start studying for this till clearing this exam. Because since you have a lot of years of experience, right? So now this question becomes important because people ask me this question frequently, that now I'm having a lot of years of experience, so do I still need to study for 3 months or 4 months or 5 months, whatever, or is it something like it will be very easy for me? I can finish this exam in a span of like 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 1 month. So I just want to know, and it's like whenever I take interview, it happens, I mean, like we get people from all the backgrounds, and also experience level also, like there are freshers who comes for the interview, okay, there are people who are at a very senior level, at very experienced people, right? So my questions to especially the experienced people is that, because like these kind of inquiries we get, almost every day, that, like, do I still need to, study a lot, or will this be easy for me? Will this certification add any value to my, since I'm already at a senior level position? So does it make sense to do the certification? So, yeah.
Okay, so we'll take it from the last question.
Sure.
Does it make sense to get the certification? I would say absolutely yes. And let me tell you the reason behind why I wanted to pursue, and then we will go step by step as to how much time. So our internal audit team is very small. So we co-source with a consultant. Now, we don't have in-house expertise when it comes to IT audits. So we kind of outsource those particular IT audits to the consultant. They're one of the big four. So over the period of 4-5 years, I have been signing off on those reports without actually knowing what I'm signing off. And our audit committee is very well versed in IT. They ask questions about IT. And a couple of them are actually in the IT field. So I'm the one presenting there without having proper technical knowledge, or at least knowledge that lets me answer about the risks and controls about IT. So I've been struggling with this for 4 years now, and I've been reviewing their reports, and we've been depending on the external consultants for IT. So that is the reason why I chose to get the certification. Plus, all my friends in the industry, have been trying to get this certification, and they speak very highly of the knowledge that they get from this. So that is the reason why I decided. So now the second question is, does experience help? It could go both ways. Sometimes experience can work in a different way and put you in trouble while you are answering the questions. And sometimes you may be able to connect. So it depends on what kind of experience that you have. We can get into those details maybe later, like what kind of experience may help. And then now the time required to study. See, that is, I don't want to sound arrogant. I don't want to sound, but May 3rd, 2024 is when I decided, when I got the study material. I had decided in August 2023 because that we need to get this done because I had attended an ISACA event in where was that? In Las Vegas, and the stuff that they're talking over there, and it was amazing. So that got me thinking. So May 1st, we got the I got the study material, and fortunately, May 1st to June 10th was my annual leave. So in the Middle East, you get annual leave, and then you can go home and you can just not do anything. You can fully focus. So May 1st to, I'd say, June 10th, first week of June, I had the entire day to myself. So the kids would go to school. I would sit at home and treat this as a full-time job. So about 5 to 6 hours.
Daily.
Now, daily. So by the 10th of June, I had a grasp of things because of your course. I had a general grasp of things. Do keep in mind, after I got your material, I'll be very honest with you, I have only read the CRM for the first domain. After I got a hold of your material, even though you told me to read the CRM, the manual, I have not read it because I have a problem with reading. I just cannot do the active reading that you have so much encouraged us. I'm not able to do that. I respond better. My mind responds better to visuals and the audio that you had. So, and I wanted to finish the exam on the 31st of July, and I had scheduled it for the 31st of July, giving me 3 months to study for it. 31st July, because I didn't want to sit for the change of syllabus. I wanted to finish it off before the syllabus changed. Now, unfortunately, by the 10th of July. So by the 10th of June, I had a grasp of the material, which is 1 month. And then I've been practicing. I've been in touch with the user about whenever I have questions and whatnot. I've been practicing for a month. But July 10th, July 9th, I had a very unfortunate incident. I had to be hospitalized. I actually had a full-blown heart attack. So July 10th, and I have 20 days for the exam to go. So I was in the hospital. I came back. I was I was on bed rest. Then I was frantic, and I called you. I said, "This is my situation, and you've been taking care of my progress, and you've been seeing. I mean, you've been giving me advice. So you had an idea. So you encouraged me to do a few things in the last 10 days that I had left to go and sit for the exam, and that somehow worked. So if you look at my journey, I'd say 1 month of full-time studies and let's say 15 days of, again, 15 days of full-time studies itself. So 45 days of full-time studies, you can knock this out. If you follow, what I followed, which is your strategy. I blindly followed it. So did I answer all your questions?
Yeah,
Did I?
you have answered all the questions. So based on your answers, and I want to add few things, right? So it was like last week of July, because 31st of July was the last date for giving the exam under the old syllabus. Anyone giving the exam on 1st of August, they will need to apply, and they'll need to give the exam under the new syllabus, right? It was last week of July. So you messaged me. It was an audio message. And I, like, honestly, last week of July there were a lot of messages used to come, because a lot of people were giving the exam, especially, and I thought initially that people will be giving the exam in the month of May or June. But the thing is that many people decided to give the exam in the month of July. Almost everyone have cleared the exam in the old syllabus. But like, I used to get a lot of messages. So last week of July, I got audio message. I didn't hear that message. It was the next day in the afternoon, I think. I heard that audio and I was shocked. I immediately called him, because he mentioned what happened to him on 10th of July. He was hospitalized. It was a cardiac arrest, 100% blockage, something he mentioned, right? So I was like, I couldn't even fully hear that audio. Just that when you mentioned that, I was like, oh my god, I mean, why are you taking that stress to give the exam? So I immediately called him. We had a discussion. I told him one thing, that please take care of your health. It's completely fine. I will help you in the new syllabus. Don't worry for that. I mean, health is more important. Okay, there is nothing important than your health. And I mean, exams will come, exams will go, but health is something which you need to take care of. But one thing he told me is like, no, 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 sir, I am feeling very confident, because I studied a lot. And this also, I mean, it, it gave me goosebumps, that time. And I realized that this is the power of working hard. And because now see, you started your studies 3rd of June something, right? You mentioned the date, like
Third
3rd
of
of
May.
3rd of May, sorry, yeah, 3rd of May. This unfortunate thing happened on 9th or 10th of July, right? So there was a gap of, like, you can say 2 months, of 2 months period. Now in these 2 months, the preparation which you did, the hard work, the efforts which you have put, now though, because of that, you are having confidence. No, no, I can go and I can write the exam. So I was like, now if he's having so much confidence, because like, see, to be very honest, when these kind of thing happens, the first thing which everyone will advise you is that like, it's okay, take it easy. You can give the exam afterwards. Exams, I mean, it's okay. Like, new syllabus is not something is very difficult, or like, people like you won't be able to clear, like, that's for sure. Okay. And so I told him like, please take care of your health. But and this advice I would also like to give to everyone, that in case ever if you feel, because like like this happened in the past also with few of our students from but I could not take the interviews, because Now they had anxiety attacks, so these kind of thing also happen. So I always advise that, to take this exam easy. Don't, because what happens is, when you have limited time and when you try to put a lot of information in a short span of time. Okay, let's say if I say I have a deadline from my office and they want me to give the exam in a span of 1 month, and when I start studying and I make a plan, which is like I'll be studying like 8 hours a day, 9 hours a day. Okay, some people they're able to manage. Some people, because of a lot of other responsibilities also, you know, whatever, they're not able to manage. So the point is, health will always come first. Okay, and for this exam, rather than studying a lot in short span of time, it is advisable you put like 1 hour, 2 hours, go slowly. That is completely fine, right? There is nothing you will lose if you clear the exam 1 month late or 2 months late, right? But at the same point of time, you really inspired me, because I have also shared your incident with one of my student, who was also facing, not, I would say, depression, but he was like, I'm not able to study. And when I gave your example, he got immediately motivated. He was like, wow, I mean, like, you should really take his interview. I mean, he don't know anything about you. But when I told that, there was this guy, and I told him, like, to take rest, and he was like, no, I will give the exam and I will clear the exam. And it was your confidence that, I told you, okay, no, you go ahead and you give the exam on 31st of July. Okay, don't worry, because I was having confidence on you. Because the thing which you mentioned, like, no, 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 I'm like, I have done my best. I like, I know. And he also mentioned in the audio, as like, as far as what I remember, that I I have wasted few weeks. It was like 2 weeks, right? So you are,
Yeah, 2 weeks I was out there.
yeah. So you also mentioned that like, I know, I agree that I wasted my 2 weeks, but I am damn confident that I'll clear the exam, because my preparations are good. This is what you mentioned in our discussion. So that gave me that motivation. And trust me, I mean, like, you can see, I'm not even able to express in terms of what,
So
because
see, sir, it's a two-way street. The reason I was able to get that confidence is because I just had blind faith in your material, and I followed it to the T. I mean, everything that you said, I followed to the T. And mind you, I only watched your videos once, except for the blockbuster videos, multiple times. And the way the explanation was done, it just stuck with me. And the way the thought process that you had trained, which is not a normal thought process for a professional. This thought process is ISACA way of thinking. So that you had ingrained in me gave me a little bit of confidence that this is manageable. That's because I was fortunate enough to get so much time. Not everybody will get that much time. I got time in the beginning, front end. I got a lot of time, and I got rightly directed towards your material, and I just jumped into it. So I was just, everything fell in place. I was fortunate by God's grace, everything fell into place. It was a blessing. I don't think I worked that hard. I just
no,
followed the
no.
process. No, I just followed the process. I didn't work that hard. When you say work hard, I don't think I did that. I followed the process. That helped.
Yeah, and like, but following the process also takes a lot of hard work. And
If you believe, though,
if you
if you
believe,
believe
yeah, that is
if
very
you
true.
believe in the process, it'll come to you naturally. And
That's
that belief came to me after listening to one or two of your videos, how you have taken the effort to explain, like, if this gentleman is saying it with so much conviction, what he's teaching, there's something in it. And it was more, it was an emotional thing rather than evaluating technicality or whatnot. I just felt the connection immediately, and I went, it helped.
right. And I mean, I would also like to ask you a few questions. Okay, so like, were you getting some symptoms before that thing, or maybe like you were devoting more number of hours since it was the last month and it was the first week of the July month? Did you have something in your mind, okay, I need to clear the exam, I just have 1 month,
No.
I need to study more?
See. My lifestyle choices before this
You look very healthy, by
because
the way.
not huh
You look very healthy, by the way.
no, my lifestyle choices were horrible. I was probably in the best shape of my life to look at, but I used to smoke, and I've been smoking since the last 26 years. It had to catch up with me. So it was smoke compounded by the work pressure. So and I haven't, and that's another thing that I would like to touch upon. So let me finish this first. So I had a checkup in India. When I was in India, I had a full thorough checkup, and this guy said, "Oh, I wouldn't name the doctor. The doctor said, "You're fit like a 25-year-old, clean as a whistle. Go." So I used to do this high intensity interval training, which is supposed to be only for my age. I'm 45. For my age, I'm only supposed to do it 3 times a day. So I used to enjoy the pump so much that I used to do it 6 times a day. So 6 times a week. Sorry, 6 times a week. So that with the smoking and with the stress just busted me. And again, I had symptoms. So this happened on a Tuesday. On Saturday, I finished my workout. I came home and I was trying to take a nap, just like this. I was trying to take a nap, and I could feel a little bit of pain in this area. In my head, I'm thinking it's just gas.
It
So I
was
thought I
it,
just
it was one day before,
no, it was 3 days before.
3 days before. Okay.
Okay. So I thought it was gas. Sometimes when you have gas,
Yeah,
it
correct.
puts you back in.
Acidity, correct. Yeah.
Yeah. So I came down and had some just soda so that I could burp it out. It's not going. So I went to the hospital. They checked me out and they cleared me saying it's gas. I won't name the hospital. And then I came back home. And then Tuesday, that morning of the attack, 5:30, I had an attack. I was walking down the stairs. I got an arrest and I fell down the stairs. And luckily, my parents were here to call the ambulance. So it turns out that I had a minor attack on Saturday and a major on. So I had the symptoms. Yeah. So so now I don't smoke. I'm so afraid. I'm so scared that I don't touch a cigarette. I used to enjoy it a lot, which is a very bad thing. Now, what I want to tell you, what I understood. See, if you are in a journey in your life, and if you're about to take the CISA, and that is on your to-do list, and you've started, do not start a diet, or do not change your lifestyle, or do not cut carbs or whatever for that period. Don't load yourself with 2 3 ambitions at the same time. You will fail in one. If you're going to get your CISA done, just focus on your CISA and get that stuff done. You can start your diet afterwards. Or if you want to quit a bad habit that you have, you quit that bad habit, then start the CISA, or look at your priorities. If you load up, or if you want to, some people want to give up on coffee. They don't want coffee anymore. If you do that while doing your CISA, one of your objectives will fail. So prioritize, pick one, do that. And like like Aditya sir said, if it's related to your health, do the health thing first, then get into your CISA. So I was lucky. I was very fortunate. I've been lucky. I've been very blessed, especially with the people that I have interacted with. Again, I don't consider your product a product. I consider that a person that I've met. And that's helped me get through this. Amazing. Thank you so much. I haven't thanked you enough.
No, I want to thank you, for inspiring me, a lot of people, and I'm sure that after this video, it will also, this message and everything, will reach out to a lot of people. It will give them the inspiration, and at the same point of time, it will also give them the lesson, to as you mentioned that there are a lot of things when you're doing one thing, you should not try to add other aspects also, and especially when you have very short span of time, and that's the reason, I always say that, it's okay, it's completely fine to even study like 1 or 2 hours, rather than giving that stress and unnecessary additional mental pressure of doing more. And because I have also done that, like, to be very honest, I'm saying, but when I have deadlines, I also do that. I miss my lunch or meal, whatever. Then I feel hungry, during the evening time, I eat anything, okay, just to
Yeah,
get that
yeah, we
energy.
all do that.
Yeah.
We
But
all do that.
so everything comes at a cost. And do you think that the efforts and the since you mentioned, like 2 months, 3 months, you were very serious, you have followed the process you have mentioned, but at the same point of time, you like doing everything also requires dedication, and you were dedicated towards the entire process, and that helped you getting that confidence, no, even after this I can get up, I can bounce back and I can go and write the exam and I'll clear the exam. So was that early preparation one of the reason for your confidence?
Yes. Yeah. Not see. In order for you to be prepared, you need to start enjoying the process. I was at a point where I was enjoying the process. Where when I started off with your lectures, when I used to go pick up the kids and drop the kids off at the school, I used to hook up the phone onto the Apple Play, and I used to listen to your lectures even while driving. And that maybe, I don't know. So I used to enjoy it so much. That is why I was dedicated. I was doing myself a favor and enjoying it much more than. And also, I'll be very honest with you. I did not have any external pressure to finish the CISA from the audit committee, from my managers. I did not have any pressure. I mean, I was okay there. Professionally, in terms of compensation and whatnot, where I am right now, this is not going to help me. But if I look for a job someplace else, it will help me monetarily. But in terms of me being able to present better, me being able to understand better, and have the confidence to talk about IT audits and the different aspects that we spoke about, that has tremendously increased when I walk into the audit committee. Now, you need to keep in mind that my audit committee, there is, I cannot name the names. There is a minister. That one minister he's the chair of the audit committee. Then there are two other people who are very prominent business people in the state of Qatar. So in order to go there and talk to them about what they already know, that is the aspect that I was looking for with my CISA. My goal was different to get the CISA. So the pressure to get that was not as high as, by the grace of God, finding a job or looking for an increment. My drivers were different.
Correct. So
did I answer your question? I don't know if I did.
Exactly. So you have mentioned one very good point, that when your focus is on learning, you don't because if your focus is on just passing the exam, you will be like, no, you give me some questions, I'll practice those questions, I'll do this, I'll do that, okay, and I'll go and give the exam. But when your focus is learning, when you are enjoying the process, it also gives you the what to say, additional what to say
Push. Gives
courage,
you a little.
push, correct, yeah, courage and push, to even face these kind of unfortunate things. And so what's next? Okay, so since you have cleared this exam, so what's next? Your goal,
I
so
wanna leverage off of this momentum and hopefully get the C-risk out of the way. I've been talking to you about that, and I would like to get that out of the way. Not this year because it's the last quarter. Yeah, I'd imagine the first quarter. Hopefully, the first quarter of 2025. Hopefully, but the fact of the matter is, I cannot find a process like your process for C-risk. And I think you should delve into that and create another product for C-risk aspirants. I don't think there are as many as serious aspirants as there are CISA. So volume wise, yes, of course, um, this is better. This is better business wise, but we need something for CISA, a C-Risk also, and maybe many others under your guidance somehow to expand your team.
Yeah, sure. I would also, love to, I mean, I mentioned this to him also in the past that, I would love to collaborate with you. Okay. And uh, also, my next question to you is that uh, since you mentioned that, okay, like now this is again, I would like to ask is because is revision important for getting that confidence during the last week? Like, since you had very few days left and then you finished everything. Okay. So do you feel that, okay, revision is important, especially during the last few days? And
No doubt. Yeah.
and yeah, so and also like but you having that stress in your mind one day before the exam that okay, now there is something like if I would have got few additional days, I could have revised more or something like that.
I don't know. Again, to each its own. I did not have that anxiety when it came to the last day. I had anxiety before coming to the last day. Last day, I was all set. I think the reason for that is because I took the mock exams. There were some mock exams that were exponentially more tough than the others. And my challenge was because right then is when I had given up smoking, okay? When I started taking mock exams. Sitting for a mock exam for 2.5, 3.5 hours without tobacco, without nicotine, I was able to do that. So that gave me confidence that I could overcome this and I could take the exams. And I was somehow the exams were working out for me. I used to share the scores with you,
Yeah,
and the
your scores
exams.
were really good. I would like to add to your scores
I
were
don't know how though. I don't know how because I have done the CFE, okay, a certified fraud examiner. I've done the CIA. In CFE, there is a question bank, and you just keep on answering the question bank. Like 1,200 questions, and it keeps on picking from that. And then there are instances where you see about 50% a copy paste from the exam in the real exam. I know for a fact that CISA is not that way. So when I got into your mock exams and I saw questions that were totally different from the unit test, totally different from the Q&A, then since I was able to answer those, my confidence got up to a better level because there were different questions and I was able to tackle them because of your guidance. And I'd like to add one more thing. Just recently, how I've applied what I've studied in CISA at my job. So we have an instance where our IT assets are being disposed. Now, this was in a, so we had the observation in the IT asset management report was that we have assets that are not being disposed. Okay, not used, not disposed, obsolete. Now they're in the process of disposing them. But we missed a very big point, which is forgetting to degauss or wipe them. If you're using it again, degauss them or destroy them. We missed that point. Now we were able to catch that point because you kept on telling us destruction, destruction, destruction. You showed us pictures. So that helped. That recently helped. And IT is like, oh yeah, you're right. We were about to auction them, and we were about to send them. I said, no, you cannot. You have to do this because Mr. Aditya told we have to do this. No, that really helped. And they were like, oh yes, we forgot this major step. So already it's paying off.
Correct. Correct. Yeah. So any last piece of advice you would like to give to our audience, who are watching your lectures, who want to give the exam very soon, and trust me, like normally I ask a lot of additional questions also, but here, see, you can also see that I sometimes I'm not getting words also because I am also in that phase, because I remember that day also, like that day,
Yeah.
that audio and everything, and it doesn't happen all the time, but sometimes, some stories or some personal thing, it really touch you. Okay. And this is not something I'm saying just for the sake of saying, it is really true. uh,
I'm so
and I'm
glad.
100% sure that your interview will motivate a lot of people to work hard. And you are an inspiration, for sure. And I should call you sir, to be very, you should not call me sir. I should be calling you sir.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I forgot to tell you, sometimes the subtle jokes and the comments that you make in your video, they're also amazing. They let you remember certain things. I can't pinpoint those, but so my advice, or in my opinion, is that it does not matter how much time you take. Okay, it depends on you, that when you want to finish, and you have to work backwards. But honestly, if you take the exam 1 month late, 2 month late, 3 month late, it's not the end of the world. So enjoy the process. If you enjoy the process and have faith in the process. I mean, I can certify that this process works. I will write it down and I will sign off on it if you want. Enjoy the process. If you go through the process, you will get it in your first attempt. Doesn't matter if it's 2 months, 1 month, 3 months, 6 months. Just go through the process according to your convenient time. But follow the process. That's all. And I mean, it's spoon fed to you. There is a video which tells you the process even before you start. Do it according to your convenience. Take a year, take 6 months, take 3 months, but do the process. You'll be okay. First attempt, it'll be done.
Thank you so much, for sharing your inspirational journey with us. And wishing you all the very best.
Actually, one of my managers that works under me, Saumi Thomas, and she's an ACCA and she has a CFE. She's just signed up with you. She has just signed up with you. And then there is another gentleman who's from Sudan, who is a CPA. He will be signing up next week, and I pushed them that follow this. So, and I really, honestly, I know this may sound a little crude, but I really think you're underselling your product in terms of value. I mean, really, because in this day and age, when people see a product that is priced at a reasonable range, their mentality is that, okay, maybe it's not worth it. But your product is worth so much more times than what you're charging for it. I mean, that is just a business thing that I want to tell you. I don't know, you can cut that out of the